All right, so let's dive into a world that's unfortunately become, all too familiar these days. Online scams.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted the lowdown on how to avoid getting tricked, and trust me, this stuff can happen to anyone. Just the other day, I was chatting with a client at Atlanta Senior Real Estate, and she almost got taken by that classic IRS scam.
Oh, no.
Yeah, someone called pretending to be from the IRS,
Yeah.
demanding she pay back taxes with gift cards or face jail time.
Oh, my goodness.
Thankfully, she reached out to our CEO, Hillary Walker, before things went too far south.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. It's incredible how these scammers, they really prey on our fear of, messing up, especially with something as important as taxes. They know most people would rather pay up than risk getting in trouble with the IRS, right?
Exactly. And the curvy thing is, this is just one tiny piece of a much bigger problem. Get this, in the first 9 months of 2023, scams cost people, get this, over $7 billion.
Wow.
That's billion with a B.
It's a staggering amount.
It is. But don't worry, we're not here to scare you, but to empower you. Just knowing the tricks these scammers use drastically reduces your chances of becoming a victim.
Absolutely. It's like having a secret weapon in a way. And one of the most common battlegrounds for these scams is, and this might surprise you, it's taxes and online accounts.
Okay, so tell me more about these online account tax scams. How do they work?
So imagine this. You get a call or an email offering help setting up your IRS online account.
Okay.
Sounds helpful, right?
Yeah, sounds legit.
Right. But here's where things get a little sneaky. These scammers, they create websites that look exactly like the real IRS site. They even go as far as mimicking the official URL.
Oh, wow. Tricky.
Very tricky. And they're after your personal and financial info, which they can then use to wreak havoc.
So it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Exactly.
Everything seems legit, but it's a trap.
Yeah.
So how can people tell if an IRS communication is the real deal?
That's a great question, and it's really important to be discerning. Remember this. The IRS communicates through snail mail first, not surprise phone calls.
Okay.
They'll never call you out of the blue asking for personal information or demanding immediate payment. Always, and I really want to emphasize this, always go directly to irs.gov yourself to access your account or get information.
That's a great takeaway. So let's say someone falls for this trick. What's the worst that could happen?
Well, best case scenario, they get away with a bit of your money, right?
Right.
Worst case, they can file fraudulent tax returns in your name, stealing your refund, and potentially landing you in some serious hot water with the IRS.
Oh, no, that's no good. Speaking of stressful situations, let's shift gears to another scam that's still thriving in 2024 employment scams.
Right.
Job hunting is tough enough without these predators adding to the pressure.
You're telling me it's a jungle out there.
So what are some of the red flags people should watch out for? I've heard of the classic fake check scam, but are there any new tricks up their sleeves these days?
Unfortunately, yeah. The fake check scam is still alive and well. That's where they send you a check, ask you to wire back a portion, and then, surprise, the check bounces and you're on the hook for the money.
Ugh, that's awful. What makes these new scams different?
Well, imagine this. You apply for a job online and you land a virtual interview, right?
Okay, great.
So you're chatting with a friendly recruiter, everything seems professional, and then they ask for your personal information for background checks through what appears to be an official company portal.
Okay.
But here's the kicker. The portal is fake, designed to steal your identity.
So it's not enough to just ace the interview anymore.
Right.
You have to be a digital detective too.
Exactly.
What's the takeaway here? How can job seekers protect themselves from these elaborate schemes?
Well, it's all about being proactive, right?
Yeah.
So before you even submit your resume, do your research.
Okay.
Check out the company's website, look for red flags like typos or inconsistencies, and see if they have a legitimate presence, right?
Yeah.
On LinkedIn, other job boards.
It's like dating. You got to check their online profiles before you swipe right on that job application.
100%, yeah. Speaking of dating, that brings us to our next category, romance scams.
These ones just break my heart. It's bad enough to lose money, but to have your emotions exploited like that, that's a whole other level of awful.
Oh, absolutely. These scams, they really prey on our desire for connection, especially in today's digital age. And unfortunately, the pandemic, it really created this perfect storm for romance scammers to thrive.
Yeah, that makes sense with so many people feeling isolated.
Right.
It's easy to see how someone might, let their guard down online.
Absolutely.
So how do these scams usually play out?
So picture this. You're browsing a dating app or social media.
Okay.
And you stumble upon someone who seems, almost too good to be true.
Okay.
They're attractive, they share your interests, they're showering you with compliments.
Okay, I'm already suspicious.
Right.
It's like they're reading from the How to Scam Someone 101 playbook.
Right. But here's the thing, they're good. Yeah. These scammers are masters of manipulation. They'll spend weeks, even months, building trust, creating this illusion of a genuine connection. They know exactly what to say to make you feel special, cared for.
So they're basically emotional con artists.
Basically.
When do they make their move? Do they just come right out and ask for money?
Rarely. They're much more cunning than that. They'll often weave these elaborate stories that are designed to really tug at your heartstrings.
Oh, yeah.
A sick family member who needs urgent medical care.
Oh, no.
A sudden financial crisis,
Yeah.
or even being stranded abroad with no way to get home.
So they play on your empathy,
Yes,
knowing you're more likely to help someone you care about, even if you've, never met them in person.
exactly. And to add insult to injury, they often request payment through platforms like Venmo or Zelle.
Ah, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah,
Those platforms are notorious for making it difficult to recover funds if you've been scammed, right?
unfortunately, yes. Unlike traditional bank transfers or credit card payments, transactions made through those peer-to-peer payment apps, they're often instant and irreversible. So once you send money that way, it's incredibly challenging to get it back, even if you realize, right away that you've been duped.
Wow, that's terrifying. So how big is a problem are we talking about here? How much money have these heartbreakers managed to steal?
Well, hold on to your hats because the numbers are staggering. So far, romance scams have cost Americans a whopping $1.3 billion.
$1.3 billion. It's mind-blowing. It's like a whole industry built on heartbreak and deception.
It is, and that's just what's been reported.
Right.
Many victims, they're too embarrassed or ashamed to come forward.
Well, I'm sure.
So the actual figures could be even higher.
It's probably way more than that. Okay, listeners, I hope you're taking notes because this information is crucial. We've covered tax scams, employment scams, and now romance scams. But before we wrap up, I want to talk about how to stay safe in this digital minefield.
Yes, please.
Because, the truth is, scammers are constantly adapting their tactics, coming up with new and creative ways to exploit our vulnerabilities.
Yeah, they're always one step ahead, always evolving.
So how do we stay one step ahead of them? What are the key takeaways here? The things that everyone should keep in mind to, navigate the digital world safely. It's like they're always one step ahead, using technology to, to their advantage. So how do we outsmart them? What are the key takeaways, the things everyone should keep in mind to, navigate the digital world safely?
I think it really boils down to cultivating this healthy dose of skepticism,
Okay.
right? Just remembering if something online seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah, that's great advice.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's easy to get caught up in the moment,
Right.
especially when something speaks to a deep desire, like finding a dream job or that, romantic connection.
Sure.
What are some practical red flags?
Yeah.
Those little details that scream, this could be a scam.
Yeah, you're right. Those emotional triggers, they can really cloud our judgment.
Totally.
So I'll give you a little checklist to kind of keep handy.
Okay.
First off, be wary of any unsolicited contact,
Okay.
especially if they're asking for personal or financial information out of the blue. Legitimate organizations, they don't operate that way.
Right. So that random email from a prince promising a fortune, probably best to just hit delete.
Exactly, 100%. Second, channel your inner detective.
Okay.
Pay close attention to the details.
Okay.
So scrutinize those email addresses for misspellings or inconsistencies, right?
Yeah.
Look for the HTTPS and padlock icon in website URLs
Oh, yeah.
to make sure they're secure.
Right.
And be wary of any requests for unusual payment methods,
Okay.
especially those that can't be traced.
Okay, those are great. Those are great tips. It reminds me of that saying, the devil is in the details.
Yes.
Scammers bank on people just overlooking the small stuff.
Exactly, 100%. And then finally, the most powerful tool you have is really your gut instinct. If something feels off, even if you can't quite put your finger on it,
Right.
trust that feeling.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to hit the pause button, do your research, talk to a trusted friend or family member.
Right.
Or even, contact your local authorities if you have doubts.
Yeah, it's like that old adage, better safe than sorry.
Yes, exactly.
And this applies to, both our online and offline lives, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
It's true.
Whether you're browsing the web or strolling down the street, awareness A critical eye
Mm-hmm.
and a healthy dose of caution are your best defense against, scams of all types.
I love that. Awareness, a critical eye, and caution. We should put that on a t-shirt.
There you go.
But in all seriousness, listeners, this is crucial stuff. And we've covered, some major scam categories today, but as technology evolves, so will the scams.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. New threats are emerging every single day. So
As we wrap up this deep dive, I'm going to leave you with this thought. What other online interactions could be vulnerable to scammers? What new scams might be lurking around the corner? Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay safe out there in the digital world.
well said. Yeah, well said. And remember, knowledge is power.
There you go.
The more you know about these common scams and their tactics, the better equipped you'll be to protect yourself and your loved ones.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And on that note, that's a wrap on today's deep dive into avoiding online scams. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time for another fascinating deep dive.
And that wraps up another insightful episode of Let's Talk Real Estate for Older Adults. I hope you found today's discussion as enlightening and inspiring as our team did. Remember, every transition is a new beginning, and we're here to provide information for you along the journey of downsizing, relocating, or aging in place. If today's conversation got you thinking about your own unique situation, I'd love to chat, so book a call with me, and let's figure out the best steps for your next chapter. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe and join our community so you never miss an episode. If you have questions or ideas for a future topic, please reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm Hilary Walker, CEO of Atlanta Seniors Real Estate, signing off. Stay safe, stay positive. Your forever home could be just around the corner. And remember our philosophy? Real estate is more than property. It's about the people. And that wraps up another insightful episode of Let's Talk Real Estate for Older Adults. I hope you found today's discussion as enlightening and inspiring as our team did. Remember, every transition is a new beginning, and we're here to provide information for you along the journey of downsizing, relocating, or aging in place. If today's conversation got you thinking about your own unique situation, I'd love to chat, so book a call with me, and let's figure out the best steps for your next chapter. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe and join our community so you never miss an episode. If you have questions or ideas for a future topic, please reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm Hilary Walker, CEO of Atlanta Seniors Real Estate, signing off. Stay safe, stay positive. Your forever home could be just around the corner. And remember our philosophy? Real estate is more than property. It's about the people.